Well, joining us now is our international affairs editor, Dominic Waghorn. So, Dominic, just react there to this news that this deal has been done, and Raisi there making it clear that the Iranians now are going to spend this money, their money, any way they choose.
Well, the deal is quite complicated, but it involves 5 Iranian Americans in Iranian jails. One of them is a joint British and American citizen. We know the names of 3 of them, the identities of 3 of them. They've all been held, 2 of them for 5 years and 1 for 8 years. The other 2 have not been identified. Now, they're going to be swapped for Iranians being held in American jails. And the money that's also going to be unfrozen as part of this deal is $6 billion worth of effectively Iranian money. It's money that was paid for Iranian oil and then was frozen in bank accounts around the world when Donald Trump reneged or went back on the Obama-era Iranian nuclear deal. So the Iranians have always said it's their money and it's theirs to do what they want with. But as part of this deal, there was a commitment we understood from the Iranian government, certainly how the Americans have sold it, particularly to those who are critics of any rapprochement with Iran on Capitol Hill. They said that the condition of this money being unfrozen in bank accounts around the world was that it would be used to buy food for humanitarian purposes, for medicine, for other aid products in Iran. Now, that response from the Iranian President, Raisi, who is a hardliner, will be controversial because he's saying, well, as far as he's concerned, there are no real conditions. It's up to the Iranian people how they spend their own money. Now, there will be those on Capitol Hill who will make a lot of that and say that the Biden administration has effectively been duped by the Iranians, who might have agreed to one thing, but once they've got the money, are already talking about going back on that deal. I think others will say, well, it's kind of what you'd expect a hardline Iranian leader to say. He is playing to his constituency at home. He couldn't say much else, and that it's not that controversial. I think more controversial, arguably, is the fact that this is all linked to an effort by the Americans to just renew relations with Iran, to ease sanctions and to try and get some kind of agreement on its alleged nuclear weapons program back on tracks. And those, particularly who are relatives of those who've been taken hostage and taken prisoner by the Iranians, would say the problem with that is it just encourages more of what they call hostage diplomacy in the future, which is taking people as prisoners on trumped-up charges, using them as bargaining chips. And this deal could lead to more of that in the future, whatever diplomatic progress it leads to as well.